You are highly praised for your relentless work ethic. You meet every deadline. You answer every late-night email. And you never drop the ball. Society labels you as highly successful, but clinical neurology labels your condition exactly for what it is: high-functioning anxiety. Your productivity is not fueled by natural drive, discipline, or passion. It is fueled by a chronic, unyielding drip of cortisol and adrenaline. You are using a biological panic response to accomplish mundane corporate tasks. You have manipulated your own survival instincts to become a better employee. From the outside, this looks like elite performance. You are outworking your peers, climbing the hierarchy, and achieving your targets. But internal biological reality tells a vastly different story. You are not thriving. You are slowly dismantling your own cognitive architecture to sustain this illusion. The damage you are doing is not psychological. It is physical, it is measurable, and it is compounding every single day you maintain this pace. To understand why you feel a constant, baseline hum of dread, even on your days off, we must analyze the exact mechanical failure happening inside your endocrine system. The human endocrine system was perfectly designed to handle acute stress. A momentary spike of cortisol to outrun a predator, followed by a deep, restorative return to baseline. But your baseline never drops. By waking up to immediate digital notifications, working through lunch, and mentally reviewing tomorrow's problems while lying in bed, you have trapped your system in a state of chronic endocrine elevation. Your brain is fundamentally failing to distinguish between a life-threatening emergency and a calendar invite. Every unread email, every Slack ping, every unresolved task is registered by your primitive brain as a physical threat. High-functioning anxiety is not a superpower. It is a high-interest biological loan. You are borrowing tomorrow's energy to fund today's panic, and the neurobiological debt you are accumulating is actively destroying your brain's capacity to function at a high level. When you live in biological debt, your body begins to shut down non-essential functions to conserve energy for the perceived threat. Your digestion slows down, leading to chronic gut inflammation. Your sleep architecture is completely compromised, preventing your brain from clearing out the metabolic waste accumulated during the day. But let us examine the most severe cost of this chronic cortisol drip. The prefrontal cortex is the evolutionary crown jewel of your brain. It is responsible for long-term strategic planning, complex problem-solving, impulse control, and emotional regulation. It is the biological seat of discipline. When your brain is constantly flooded with cortisol, a documented biological phenomenon occurs. The prefrontal cortex literally undergoes structural atrophy. It physically shrinks. Meanwhile, your amygdala, the primitive fear and threat detection center of the brain, hypertrophies. It grows larger, more sensitive, and more dominant. You are physically eroding your ability to think strategically while simultaneously upgrading your brain's capacity to feel panic. We often praise neuroplasticity as a positive trait, the brain's ability to rewire itself based on its environment. But neuroplasticity is completely agnostic. It doesn't care about your career goals. If you program your brain with constant stress, it will physically restructure itself to make you better at being stressed. You are literally building a biological prison of anxiety, brick by brick, hour by hour. And this leads directly to a devastating shift in your daily behavior. This neurobiological shift creates a devastating professional trap. Because your prefrontal cortex is compromised, you lose the bandwidth for deep work. You simply no longer have the cognitive machinery required to sustain focus on hard, ambiguous long-term problems. You can no longer architect a 5-year vision or write a complex proposal. You can only react to the immediate environment. You become addicted to clearing your inbox, ticking off minor to-do lists, and answering messages within seconds. Your brain desperately seeks the cheap dopamine of small, fast tasks. Why? Because completing a task temporarily soothes the massive anxiety generated by your enlarged amygdala. You have devolved from a strategic architect into a reactive, tactical drone. You feel incredibly busy, yet you accomplish absolutely nothing of deep, lasting value. You are moving at maximum velocity in completely the wrong direction. This is the ultimate illusion of control. You think you are managing your workflow, but your workflow is simply managing your trauma.
To stop the atrophy, you must forcibly shut off the cortisol drip.
You can't outwork high-functioning anxiety because the very act of frantic working is the exact trigger keeping you in a state of survival. You must implement aggressive physiological boundaries. You must engage in deliberate nervous system regulation. This requires enforced digital disconnection. It requires setting hard time locks on your availability. It requires the absolute, unapologetic refusal to operate your life from a baseline of panic. You are no longer available for artificial emergencies. Only when you convince your animal brain that you are safe will your prefrontal cortex begin to regenerate. Only then will your capacity for deep, strategic thought return. But reclaiming your strategic bandwidth is completely impossible if your daily environment is built around constant context switching. Every single time you check a notification, you incur a massive cognitive time penalty. Click here to discover the exact mathematical cost of a single distraction. Learn how to construct a ruthless, unbreakable environment for deep work and take back control of your biological hardware.